that that in itself is televised,
Yeah.
and they don't just say, oh, here's Steph Curry's team and here's LeBron's team. I hope they televise LeBron having to choose who goes first and then Steph, and we see who's last, because it could be so interesting. Like, who's the guy who's left out? What happens if your teammate is there, but
Right.
really another guy is even better?
You
It's really dramatic television.
Now, this is the NBA. The NFL started this years ago creating television events. Like, we didn't used to televise the draft 30 years ago. We didn't televise the combine. And the NFL has figured out a way in the non-football season to create events. This is a really cool event. So now you're going to have these NBA stars pick the teams, and it's going to be the ultimate pickup game.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest about this. In the All-Star game, I've never once cared if the East or West wins. It's not like college football where the SEC fan hates Ohio State and the Big Ten. NBA All-Star games, like, who gets the dunk of the night, who gets the shot of the night. I think this is a genius move by the NBA. Player empowerment, star players pick the teams, and like you, I think it'd be a great television night.
Yeah, I would be more interested in the team picking than the actual game.
Right.
Here's Steph Curry's reaction to the new format.
I think it's great for the game to kind of spice it up a little bit. Give the fans, I think, a little bit more interest in how the teams are going to unfold. Now is another element of mixing the East and the West and giving a different combination of guys out there on the floor. So it should be a pretty cool vibe to test it out and see how it goes.
Cool.
It will be cool that it's mixed up, too. And his coach, Steve Kerr, weighed in, and he said he wished it went a little deeper and that it was just the 24 best players regardless of conference.
Yeah. I'm for that.
Yeah, I know you're for that.
You know what, Christine? I've never once said, I like this NBA guy
like
because he played in the Northern Hemisphere.
Well,
They've got
that's
the
not what it's
Atlantic
about.
Ocean going for him. I'm just for guys that can play.
It's for keeping the fans happy.
I think the NBA fans are different. They root for players, not conferences. I never want, even a John Wall fan. If John Wall, they loved him in Kentucky, they love him at Washington. If John Wall said, I'm going to go play with OKC, people would be like, I still love John Wall. I'd still wear his shoes. Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski is now weighing in on what Tom Brady talked about yesterday, and that he was getting inconsistent calls and pass interference, I believe. So here's Gronkowski talking about that and what happened in the Panthers game, also calling out the refs.
If the consistency was there 100%, then I'd be cool with whatever it is. But I mean, 1 week we were told we can play. It really isn't going to be called. They can hold it. You can slap off their hands, and then the next week, I mean, it's if you touch the guy, it's a PI. So I mean, I just wish I knew the consistency so that I can base my game off in practice and be prepared for the game and know the rules going in.
Wow.
So wait, so Tom Brady said this yesterday.
Yes.
Criticized the refs. Gronkowski's criticizing the refs today. This is very unpatriot-like. And now listen to this. Bill Belichick is criticizing the refs.
Whoa.
I've talked to Rob. We talked about the situation. I think he really tries to do what's legal and tries not to put himself in a situation where they can call him. He doesn't push off. He doesn't try to create space. He tries to defend himself, and that's what he's been taught to do.
Seems like Bill Belichick has something that he would like the league to hear him on.
Isn't that incredible? First of all, when Brady came out and ripped the refs, I'm like, that's so un-Brady.
Yeah.
Now we know he probably had a directive. Because then the other star, Gronk, comes out, and that's Belichick telling Brady, that was awful.
Yep.
I'll back you. Say something.
Go say something. And for Gronk to say something too? Absolutely. And finally, the Rams, even though they are 3-1, they're struggling with attendance. They're averaging in their first two home games 58,000 fans, which is a drop of about 26,000 fans from last year. I don't know. Do you think maybe it's the Chargers fans that are taking away from
I
that?
think L.A., you got to prove to L.A. I think the Cowboy win will help the crowd. I'm very interested to see their crowd this week at home against Seattle because this is a bandwagon town.
Yeah, but they're 3-1. So here's Todd Gurley, and now he's pleading with fans to please show up to the game.
What do you think about the possibility of playing in a Coliseum that is filled with Rams fans this weekend? Todd, you got a message?
Please come to our game. Please come to our game. I guess, obviously the Seahawks been having success over the last couple of years, so it's a lot of Seahawks fans. So it'll probably be a lot of Seahawks fans at the game, but it doesn't matter. We're just happy to have everybody come, and obviously if you start winning, the fans will start coming. So hopefully we can take this one this weekend, and they'll just keep coming, and we just get LA football back, man.
Yeah, listen, this city is is different. Like USC with Pete Carroll, they lose a couple games and you lose 30% of the crowd. It's too sunny. There's too much to do. You got a beach and mountains. This is not Wisconsin, where in the winter it is it is a Green Bay tradition. You go to a Packer game, and it's a different environment. It's not. Listen, the city I live in is a lot of transplants with perfect weather and a beach and mountains. If you're not good, they don't go to games.
I really wonder how much it affects the players. It's got to be a little hurtful to see USC games completely packed, and then your game can't even fill up the stadium.
No, I think it's something. There's no question it's something.
Yeah.
Good, Christine, with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Brought to you by JCPenney, guys. Levi's lowest price of the year, $502 and $514 straight fit. Get your pennies worth, JCPenney. Let's bring him on, the former Yankee and Indian and a Fox baseball analyst, Nick Swisher.
Bro, I'm like, this is amazing. How do I get to spend all this time with you?
It's incredible. We are forging a real relationship here, Nick Swisher.
We've got some good stuff to talk about today.
Oh, my God. So, first of all, Joe Girardi's pretty rigid.
Yes,
he doesn't talk a lot. He's got almost a military vibe to him. He's like intimidating. Like I would never back talk. He's like the stepdad you never raise your voice to. Okay, that guy managed his arse off last night.
Oh, man, what a call, right?
Blew up in the first inning.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know Girardi. There's just something about his kind of mental, even keel temper.
Right.
He didn't freak out.
Right.
He literally never changed expression. I was sitting there in the first inning thinking, oh, crap.
This is bad. This is really bad. Totally. 3 runs is like 20 runs in the regular season.
So what do you make of Girardi?
So I thought it was a great move. I mean, no doubt about it. I think he's got a good feel on his guys in that locker room. You know, when you spend months upon months with these guys, day in, day out, you learn these guys. I think the one thing that he had at his disposal was the one thing the Yankees have going for them. As advertised, the bullpen comes in. Chad Green, give him kudos, comes in, shuts him down 2 punches to end the bleeding, shuts it down. All of a sudden, Dave Robertson comes in, an ex-closer, gives you 3 solid innings.
Yeah, he's basically is he a 4 to 5 batter guy?
Well, I'm telling you, I think D-Rob, I mean, he was in Chicago. He was getting 30-plus saves a year. I mean, he's on a $50 million contract. I mean, for him to show up and give you 3 strong innings like that, I thought was amazing. And then, obviously, you just pass it over to guys like Chapman. You know, Betances didn't pitch last night, and he will. But I'm telling you, the bullpen is the thing the Yankees have, and in the postseason, the bullpen always plays.
Aaron Judge is an amazing thing. Okay, obviously, he's 6'7", 250. There is a Jeter-like quality to him. And in New York, I don't think it's a coincidence that Derek Jeter and Eli Manning have lasted so long in Joe Girardi.
Right.
Why? Because in a city that creates tension, they don't elevate it.
Right. You're so right.
So OBJ, in a city that's full of celebrities, creates drama, and it's heightened in New York. That's why I question the length, how long OBJ can do this, because the city wears you out.
As long as OBJ keeps putting up the numbers he is and has that God-given athletic ability, he's going to be there.
So inside the Yankee organization, I heard about Aaron Judge 2 years ago in a magazine called Baseball America. And they said there's a 6'7" outfielder. Goulet, you're a big Yankee fan. And I read Baseball America. There was an article on him, and I'm like, oh, God, a 6'7" outfielder. He's going to have a massive strike zone. He's a stiff. Is he?
Well, he was that guy last year. He was that big 6'7", stiff, rigid, a lot of holes in your swing. I was able to spend a lot of time with this kid in the minor leagues when I was trying to make my potential comeback, which fell a little short. But to be able to be around those guys like Gary Sanchez, guys like Greg Bird, Aaron Judge, to see these guys at such a young age and to see the adjustments that they have made now going on to the big league level. Aaron Judge never dominated any level of baseball the way he is dominating the big league level now.
Yeah, he played college at
Fresno.
At Fresno.
Right. I mean, what a testament to his, number one, work ethic, to his knowledge of the game, to know that he needs to make an adjustment. By the way, I remember, you think of all the great, humongous hitters we've had in the day. You know, guys like Frank Hondo Howard back in the day, Richie Sexton. Tall guys don't last as long.
They don't.
For him to make the adjustment that he has made and to lead the most iconic baseball organization in the world, the New York Yankees, to lead them the way he has, man, this kid could be the face of our game.
So Derek Jeter leaves, and the Yankees make a move. I think they got this kid from Arizona, Didi Gregorius, and didn't know anything about him. He's a star, yet nobody knows about him.
He's the cleanup hitter for the New York Yankees, and you don't even know his name. That's shocking. It's to the point where coming in after the captain, he could not have been a better guy. If you brought in a flashy name, New York wouldn't have wanted that.
They were going to, at one point, they talked about Tulowitzki from Colorado. Remember that got talked about? Yes. Who was beat up physically. Yeah, who was a Jeter fan. And so they go the other way.
Right.
They got him from Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got this kid from Arizona. I don't know what they had to give away.
Not a whole lot. But to be able to go with Gold Glove defense.
Yeah, I thought he was a defensive guy.
Yeah, but by the way, this year, 287, 289, 25 bombs, and 89 steaks. I mean, how could you not want that on your team each and every day?
Now, the question becomes, so tonight we have the National League playoff game. The question with the Yankees becomes, okay, at the trading deadline, they went all in. They got a pitcher from Minnesota. Mm-hmm. They spent money at the deadline, and they did what the Royals did. They said, we don't have great starting pitching. There's nobody on the market. Right. We're going to go heavy into arms in the back end of our games. Okay, but then you start looking at teams that have really good starting pitching, like Cleveland, like Boston. Yeah. Do the Yankees match up with any of these teams?
Well, I'm telling you, I watched the game just, I think, as half of America did last night, and I think we all saw something the New York Yankees have, and that's a little bit of that magic. I think we saw them acting as kids last night. Coming back from a 3-0 deficit in the first inning, your starter got 1 out. The man that's going to finish third in the AL Cy Young race got 1 out in the game. You think that is a definite disaster. So he's walking into the dugout. I'm thinking to myself, I hope they give him this win just to give him another chance. And that's exactly what they did. I know Cleveland's the better team. I think statistically it shows that. But when you get into the playoffs, there's always that little X factor.
By the way, being a heavy favorite in the playoffs.
It's not always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, you have Cleveland now as the Cubs last year.
Right.
We know their history. They're supposed to win. The regular season's amazing. And there were times with the Cubs last year against, I think, the Giants. Was it the Giants? They scrapped a little bit. Then they scrapped. We thought they were done against the Indians 2 times in that series.
Totally. Well, you're talking about the 2 best records in the second half. The Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians. I mean, at the break, the Cleveland Indians were like right there, like first, second place. Now all of a sudden they go on this tremendous run. Tito gets the boys right where they need to be. I'm telling you, man, the Yankees are going to give Cleveland everything that they want. I think Cleveland is a little more talented at this point.
Okay, Arizona plays tonight, Colorado.
Yes, sir.
It's the National League wild card.
Yeah.
You like Arizona.
So I like Arizona. Greinke's almost undefeated at home. He's getting $30 million. He's going to step up for his team tonight when they need him most.
Good seeing you, Nick Swisher.
Yes, sir, my man.
Indians, Yankees, A's are good luck charm. Nick Swisher. This is so much fun last night. Stamp, save.